Match reaction, Manchester United 0, City 3. Your reaction to that game?
The game ended up total embarrassment. I thought United in the first half put up a good display. I thought the work rate, the way they committed to the ball, the way they committed to the defence and trying to get it up there. They had a couple of chances, but a total embarrassment in the second half. They just flatlined. It's like the team was on a life support and embarrassing at the end. Anthony there summed it up. Bruno summed it up. Lashing out, kicking out, moaning, shouting, faces of anger and all that. And, you know, that Anthony there, come on, few minutes, and he just summed it up. The man totally lost it, and it was embarrassing, a big embarrassment that second half. Yes, the shape got changed. The players just weren't good enough. And there's some of the positioning from the players, I'm telling you, mind-boggling, absolutely mind-boggling. The team at the beginning, when it was picked, was mind-boggling.
Yeah, just going to take you back to that first half and the penalty for City in the first goal. Penalty for you?
Never a penalty. I heard people saying that, he dragged him down. No way did he drag him down. If he jumped down, yes, he had his arm round him, but he didn't drag him down. The man jumped down, absolutely out of order penalty. But hey, this is the way it is, isn't it?
Is this something that you see, in your opinion, week in, week out in the Premier League and it never gets punished, but today it got flagged up?
Listen, I see it with City all the time. They foul, they stop players going through and all that. But when they get in the box or when they get a little tackle or a pull, they jump on the floor. And that's exactly, again, how they got it. He knew what he was doing, Rodri. He just here, you've got your arm around me. I'm flying on the floor. He actually turned and then dived on the floor. He didn't pull him back. He just put his arm around him. Absolute joke. But hey, United, to the credit, kept on the City had the ball. Yes, they're going to have possession. We know that. But in the first half, they kept to it. And I thought that was good of him. I thought, hey, we might still get a chance here. And we got chances. But again, I keep saying, you're not going to get many chances against City. But when you do, you have to take them. United, again, Eric Ten Hag highlighted it. You have to take your chances. Poor again.
Yeah, we did have chances in that first half. We've seen Højlund and Scott McTominay shooting straight at the keeper. But right at the end of that first half, Onana with a fantastic save against Haaland. And you just think to yourself, that could have been a moment where it could have turned in Manchester United's favour. And in the second half, the team just went to pot. There was no shape. But what was the reason for that, in your opinion?
Amrabat, he wasn't there. Why he wasn't there, I'm unsure. Not sure if he was injured or it was a tactical thing. But as soon as Amrabat weren't on, the second half started, the shape completely went. You had Eriksen there in midfield, you had McTominay. The passing was terrible. The running, the marking was terrible. Eriksen, we know he's not got the legs, but we've said it before, and I've said it before. People out there going about McTominay think he's a good squad player, but the fact is he can't turn and chase. The two of them together never chase back. That City there were just pinging the ball all over the place. And at no stage did I see a United player have a go at other players and say, get stuck into him, foul him, just tackle him, just do something, get the crowd behind you. And it never happened. All that second half, the time that City had on the ball was an absolute joke. And there's some players out there who were just strolling about, weren't sprinting, and just basically accepted. And that's what I've seen today. A Man United side in that second half accept it. But I'll tell you what, he's got to accept some of the blame, Ten Hag, because he never did anything in that second half, right, to put pressure on City. He waited and waited and waited, and it should have been changed. And I'm telling you now, Marcus Rashford out there today, until he had that one chance, which he fluffed, I didn't see him do anything. That Garnacho should have been on 20 minutes before he came on, without a doubt. Marcus Rashford out there never produced anything. Yes, we played with one winger, okay? Difficult. We know it's difficult against City, but you need something to come on and give you a spark. We never had that. And when he was bringing subs on, way too late. Absolute, again, I said, Eric Ten Hag has to manage this game. And he failed in it in that second half. It was dead from the second minute of the second half, and he did nothing. The changes, Bruno there going out. What's he doing out there wide? I'm telling you, every time he plays out there, I keep saying it, complete waste of time. And do you know what he did? He changed halfway through the second, well, more than halfway through the second half, and come back inside. Well, what's that?
Why wasn't that done at half time then, that change, instead of, like you say, halfway through the second half of Mount going on the right and Bruno going central?
They were just playing like as though they were on the park at school playing field. Like, oh, let's change that. That wasn't the way it's supposed to be. You know, there's a method of football. There's the tactics. And then they were just sort of swapping. And then Bruno, to be captain of Manchester United. And in the end, right, he was just lunging about, diving about. It wasn't working. He was whinging. He went into that mode again. I seen him lash out with a kick and all that at a player and then start moaning. And then Anthony's doing exactly the same. And Anthony was a disgrace. And they summed up that second half. There were some poor performances out there. I look at Rashford. I thought he was poor, ineffective throughout the game.
Do you think Rashford was lucky to stay in as long as he did, especially coming off after Højlund?
Rashford should have been off after 10 minutes. We needed a spark. Okay, the tactics, the way United was set up and that hindered Rashford to a certain extent. Okay, right, so he's not taking the full blame, but we needed a spark. And Garnacho shows you spark. Simple as that. And Erik ten Hag didn't, but he should have been off after 10 minutes of the second half. You know, I trust him, Erik ten Hag says. Well, you know, yeah, okay, you trust him, but if anyone out there can tell me exactly what he contributed to that game as a winger, as a forward, I'll never know. And then, listen, we all raised our hands. We all looked at it and went, what's he doing? Taking Højlund off. That, to me, I just put my head down and I just wanted to walk away.
Look, I think there was a few eyebrows raised, a lot of optimism on fans' faces that I seen outside the ground when the starting 11 was announced.
Yeah.
And I'm still a bit confused by it. He said Varane and Reguilon didn't start for tactical reasons. Do you agree with that?
Tactical reasons. You play somebody who's a left back, who's not a left back. That's great, tactical reasons. I don't understand it. You know, tactical reasons, Varane. And then you've got Johnny Evans on there. 35 years of age. What's all that about? If he's 35, 37, you know, I just think he's an old man at football, to be honest with you, right? That's not slagging Johnny Evans down. He's not good enough. But Varane should be on there. Varane should be on there. Tactical. I don't get that. A left back, the only left back what's fit, isn't on the pitch. Absolute madness, that. And then you've got Varane, who's fit, and he don't play him. For what? What? I don't understand that at all. It was baffling today, but I look at the first half, I look at the 15 minutes, and I thought United were in the game, always in the game, right? The shape, they kept it well. I thought it was good. If you look at that first 10, 15 minutes, best football of the season, without a shadow of a doubt. And then, like, obviously, the penalty, that get knocked back, and City then just sort of held back, kept the ball, and if there's one team what can hold the ball, it's City. So it was frustrating. But United never gave up. They kept the shape and everything. Bruno there in the first half, I thought he was looking good. I thought he was working it well, doing the captain's job I wanted. And then, you know, the second half, I'm baffled by it. But I'm also baffled by what you've just asked me. Tactical reasons. Well, was it tactical reasons to keep Rashford on there, who never went past anyone, who never created anything? So at the end of the day, Erik ten Hag got a lot wrong here today, and a lot of players in that second half should have their heads bowed down and should give the wages back. Give it to charity or something, because this was a Manchester derby, and they strolled through that second half and walked all over us without a fight.
But with you saying that City strolled over us, shouldn't the manager be doing something on the sidelines to help the team get them back into the game and give them that shape? Because for me and everyone around me, everyone was saying the shape's completely gone. We could all see it, so surely the manager did.
The most important thing I said on my pre-match speaking all week was Erik ten Hag has to do things before Pep Guardiola. I said it's all about man management during the game, before the game, everything. And what did he do? He didn't do anything. All he did was make the change. I don't know whether Amrabat was injured. So, you know, but he made the change. But the changes didn't work. And he still stood there and let it all happen. But I'm telling you, making them changes, 2 substitutions with 5 minutes to go, right? What was all that about? That was absolutely crazy. And I'm telling you now, bringing Hoyland off, right, was just, it was mind-boggling. And honest, I nearly blew a fuse. But the second half, from the team, from the captain, from everyone what came, it never worked. And I just don't get it at all. And there's a few people to blame. I've blamed one or two already, and I'm sure you are going to blame one or two. But that midfield died. Okay, I never expected Scott McTominay to play. I said it in my pre-match. I didn't expect him. I thought he'd be too slow against the City side, and that proved. You've seen that in the second half. Okay, and then Eriksen. Why was Eriksen on there that long? I'll never know. That McTominay and Eriksen in the second half, everything they touched, every pass they tried was just failing.
So do you think he's struggling here at Ten Hag in terms of his substitutions, his in-game management, where he's not really got the conviction of his decisions and what he's making? Because today it was just a mismatch of decisions from my point of view.
Well, you talk about Erik Ten Hag with his decisions and his mismatching and this. Look, tactical reasons, Varane and Reguilon not starting. He got it wrong.
Have we also got to look at it as well as Manchester United fans and, look at the starting 11, look at the benches before we kicked off today and just have a look at, really, City are the better team. Look at how big the gap is, the gulf between players and standards.
I don't think that was the best City side what's been to Old Trafford. I don't think they were that great. I honestly don't. I thought United competed with them. They just needed a spark in that first half and the half chances, a little bit of luck. When you look at the chances and you look at the way United coped with them in the first half, I don't think City were that confident. I thought they were a bit worried. They weren't going gung-ho at United. They were trying to hold the ball and keep the ball. That, to me, that City side out there wasn't the best side.
But do you not think City really didn't have to be the best City side that have come here to Old Trafford in the past? And they were just toying with us at times. They didn't need to go gung-ho.
No team what's come to Old Trafford has had to be the best side. No team. No team has come. Manchester United have not performed, right, for 40 minutes, 45 minutes in any game this season. So no one has to be top-notch coming here to Old Trafford. And that's what it is. And then you have all them City fans singing inside the ground, doing your head in, going on with themselves, right? We've had our time. They've got their time now. But I'm telling you, that was a poor, embarrassing display. And some players should look at themselves for the way they conducted themselves in the second half. City deserved it. They walked through us. They strolled through us. There was no tackling, no fight in a derby. Embarrassing.
Yeah, I totally agree with your comments today. Let us know your thoughts and opinions on the game. Smash that like button, subscribe as well, and we'll be up shortly with Webby. Thank you.